I checked out Shawn Baker's new video on how he's changing his diet. I think that video was forwarded to me 5 or 6 times. I took a look at it and I thought, yeah, I think I'm going to go and break down whatever he is discussing. Welcome everyone to my very humble channel. Now, let's get right on into it. Today, I'm going to break down a Shawn Baker video. Now, disclaimer, I've got nothing against Shawn whatsoever. He's quite lovely. He interviewed me for his MeatRx channel a few times. But I think it's a very good idea for me to fill in the gaps, sort of explain what I think what's going on, or his dietary change, what that symbolizes, and perhaps fill in what he is not able to explain himself. So let's get watching right now as I break it down.
All right, good morning. As many of you guys know, I've been doing a carnivore diet for the last now going on, well, soon to be 8 years, and I've been what I feel has been in great health, no issues, no health issues, no challenges, and that diet has been basically just lots of meat. Sometimes I'll add some dairy, sometimes some eggs, things like that. But recently, I have encountered something that's going to cause me to change that for a period of time, and I'm not going vegan. I'm not going to be adding a bunch of fruit and honey or anything like that. You guys can relax about that. But what, as some of you guys may know, so 7 weeks and 2 days ago now, I injured my neck while doing jujitsu. And I ended up with what is likely a large herniated disc between the C6 and C7 level of my spine, which causes something called C7 radiculopathy, which just basically means the nerve root is being compressed and it's causing quite a few symptoms. For me, that means, my index and my middle finger are completely numb. They've been pretty much numb the entire time for 7 weeks now. I've got, pain that varies, sometimes as low as a 3, sometimes as high as an.
Okay, pain in the nerves is terrible. When I had my first knee surgery, they cut the nerve and I had so much pain in my knee. It was awful. I mean, it was awful, awful, awful.
8, but it sort of never goes away, and it's it's kind of like a stabbing pain in the shoulder blade, down to throbbing, aching down the arm, to kind of burning pain into the hand and fingers, and so that's been going on. And there's things I can do to sort of improve it, like for instance, nerve flossing or nerve gliding, where you basically work on like stretching out things like the median nerve, and when I do that, work out and do all those things, albeit while in pain, but I continue to do it anyway because getting weaker is not going to solve the problem. Now, I'm careful around my neck so I don't aggravate it while I'm doing that. But nonetheless, it is quality of life is somewhat reduced right now, as you guys might imagine. So here's the change I'm going to be making. So we know, typically I've been doing this diet. I don't care about ketones. I've never worried about that. It's not.
Wait, did he just say he didn't care about ketones? Let's listen a little bit more. I'm going to comment.
And really, I don't think I need to. But there is some pretty good data out there on ketogenic diets or keto.
Okay, did he just say he doesn't care about ketones, but there's a good observation about ketogenic diets and neuron inflammation or neuroinflammation? Wait, you don't care about ketones, but you care about ketones. Shawn, which one are you talking about?
Ketosis and neuroinflammatory conditions. As this paper here talks about, there's many studies out there that show that ketones can potentially help neuroinflammation. And so in an effort to avoid hopefully needing surgery for this, because the surgery for this, depending on the exact size and location of the disc rupture, may result in either a disc replacement or fusion at the neck, or perhaps a decompression from the back. Either way, options I'm not excited about. Certainly, you'd rather get through this without surgery, so then I can get back to life and get back to training hard and playing hard like we're supposed to, right?
Here's the thing. He's about to go into his dietary change, but I really want to put a lot of focus on how he said, I've never tried to get into ketosis. I don't care about ketosis, but I'm kind of confused because he did interview me once and he asked me everything about being in ketosis and how much fat and what kind of fat. And then I believe Sarah Kleiner asked him afterwards. And I think he started eating a lot of fat. And I believe she asked him, did you get this concept of eating more fat from Stephanie? But I digress. Don't care about ketosis, but I really think he does care about ketosis.
As a consequence, my dietary shift is going to be away from consuming as much protein and probably more fat based. In fact, yesterday was my first day. It was basically a
Wait, did he say less protein and more fat? I think that's what he said.
fasting day, more or less, with a little bit of fat added in there. And I noticed, maybe a 25% reduction in symptoms, which is a good sign. Now, I still didn't sleep well, or I actually slept pretty well. My blood glucose, this is an overnight tracing, so it's very, very low.
My people, look at this. 95 milligrams per deciliter of glucose is high for someone who's eating no carbs. This is very, very, very high. Look at that number. Look at that 95. You guys want to see glucose if you're in ketosis, because he did say he's trying to drive ketosis. You want to see your blood sugar between a 75 or an 83. When your blood sugar gets up to that 95, like you see right there, you ain't using no ketones, because why would you? Your body's going to defer to wanting to use glucose as its primary source of fuel, which is not going to help this neuroinflammation in its nerve cells. You want to drive ketosis. That means you want your blood sugar between a 75 and an 83, and you want your ketones to be between a 1.8 and a 3.0. Now, these are sweet spot numbers, and I don't think Shawn knows this because, like he said, he never has tried to be in ketosis. So let's just say he doesn't know. He's uneducated on the subject of ketones, glucose, and being ketotic, because he said he's never tried to drive ketosis. He actually said, I've never been in ketosis, because he eats all that protein. And that's where I think that people evolve. And perhaps in a year or two, he will evolve with his dietary changes, like he is now. He's adding more fat. And I believe he added more fat before, so I'm a little confused. Like I said, I've got nothing against Shawn. I think he's lovely. We talked about when we were both once in California, we talked about meeting up, but then the world went to shite and it never happened. So he moved, I believe, to Oregon, and I moved to Tennessee to get the fuck out of Cali. Now, with that said, let's continue with him discussing, his journey of thinking that 95 milligrams per deciliter is low blood sugar. Y'all, if you got 95, it's not diabetes, but you're going to sleep terrible on this. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night. You're going to feel freaking tired, because if you're not eating any carbs, 95 milligrams per deciliter is what you would see from an athlete who eats carbs, not someone who just eats meat. That just shows you that protein can work like a candy bar, and that's considered low to him on high fat, rather. He has dropped his protein and upped his fat, and he still has incredibly high blood sugar, which means he can never be in ketosis with that number. Never, ever. And I know that because I've worked with freaking over 8,000 people.
Things I expect to see. I expect to see very low blood glucose, which makes sense. I expect to lose some weight and lean out, because I'm going to be consuming overall less calories, even though it's.
But notice how he didn't say what the number of low blood glucose can be, because if your blood sugar is too low, you can become hypoglycemic. And that is a torture that I wouldn't want on my worst enemy.
Going to be a higher fat percentage. And then what I hope to see is a reduction in these, this neuroinflammation and the pain. And so I can hopefully avoid surgery and, do whatever. Now, if it goes to surgery, so be it. I'll still be out there training and, do I just recover from that? So anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm making the change. You guys just, we do a little, whatever.
I'm actually very, very happy that he's deciding to up his fat and drop his protein. But my question is if it's so good, why not just be like that all the time? And I think that's where gurus become very dogmatic. Sorry, that's a fly. They become very, very stuck to what they think works best. And that's why I want you guys to do your own due diligence. So many gurus will say, just eat a lot of protein. And if it's not working out, just give it time. It's going to get better. I swear, I promise. It's amazing. And they're not being honest. And often they don't know that they're not being honest because they haven't done it long enough to know the outcomes of all the health issues that arise with eating too much protein, too little fat, and getting zero fiber. Yes, you don't need fiber to poop. You need it to stabilize your gut microbiome because it's prebiotic, especially with prebiotic fiber, like the green part of leek or artichokes, but that has a lot of carbs, or asparagus, which is, it's a very low histamine cruciferous fibrous vegetable. Yeah. Again, I want to preface, I'm not trying to rag on Shawn. I actually like Shawn. I think he's chill, he's cool. I watch his content sometimes outside of, he likes to just talk about life, and I really enjoy his life vlogs. But yeah, take this as a win for him to decide to up his fat, and maybe he'll stick to this more ketogenic way of doing a carnivore diet and not be so stuck on the idea of high protein because I'm fine. And remember, a lot of people don't know that they're actually not doing fine. People will improve their markers on different areas. Like, think about Shawn. He has this nerve inflammation, and carnivore is not fixing it. So stop thinking that carnivore fixes everything. And some of these carnivore gurus are like, no, like this way of eating is the best. They don't know. And if you see with him, Shawn does not have the answers of what is ketosis? What are the macros for being ketogenic or ketotic? How much fat should he take at 6 foot? I think he's 6'5" or something. How much protein should he be taking? What about his 24-hour day of stress and cortisol? All of these things matter. Or how heavy he trains, or what time of the day he trains. It's not just a one-size-fits-all dietary measure. If you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com and book a consultation, because I've done this for a long time and I get my information from my clients, and it's important to go outside of yourself because, I mean, I'm 56, on my way to 57. I've hit my roadblocks with being on a ketogenic diet, which is the electrolytes, specifically magnesium and potassium, and low blood pressure from not drinking enough water. I know. You can't get into ketosis if your body's under stress, sleep, dehydration, pain, blood sugar spikes when your body's under stress. And why would your body use ketones if your blood sugar's high? 95 is too high. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. And I have a course where you can, it's a $15 a month course where I go through all 3 diets for different reasons: gallbladder, thyroid, blood sugar dysregulation, hypoglycemia. And after this, I'll be working on the challenge. I will introduce, or I will let you guys know when the sign up dates are going to happen. But just remember, I've got horses. I've got a house being built starting now, and I'm taking care of my mom. So, but I am going to get this date out soon. Peace. And give Shawn some love, because he's one guru I actually like. I like his personality. I'm not always in alignment with what they say, but give him some love. Peace.